In this practice, I want to introduce you to the self-compassion break, which many people have found a source of encouragement and support when they're struggling and upset, and perhaps being harshly self-critical of themselves. To learn this practice, it helps to bring to mind a recent situation that was difficult in some way. Perhaps you were stressed, or there was a relationship problem, or you were worried about something. Perhaps you were feeling overwhelmed by the lockdown, a result of the coronavirus, or feeling trapped, or don't feel you're being a good enough parent. You might even be harshly self-critical, saying to yourself, "I'm useless," or "I should be able to cope." However, only recall a situation that was mild to moderately difficult, perhaps scoring sort of 1 to 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. So the first step in the self-compassion break is to acknowledge that you're upset in some way. We tend to ignore or push away emotions we don't like or think are wimpish. But to manage an emotion effectively, you need to accept it has turned up and is knocking on your front door. In some way, we need to validate that this emotion is upsetting us and that we are suffering. Perhaps you might say to yourself, "This is difficult," or "I don't like this," or "This stinks." The important thing is to find your own words to acknowledge any distress. And then the second step is to remind yourself that whatever has not worked out for you, you are not alone in that. Millions are probably going through or have gone through the same or similar struggles as you're having. Humans are not perfect, although we do have some excellent qualities. Plans do not always work out as intended. We make mistakes. It's important to remember we're not alone when we start to feel upset or beat ourselves up. The third step invites us to be kind to ourselves in this situation. It helps at this step to place a hand over our heart, or cradle our head in our hands, or give ourselves a gentle cuddle, or gently cradle one hand in another. The warmth of our hands in contact with our bodies activates our innate soothing system, which in turn helps us weather times of suffering and distress. And also speak to yourself in a warm and caring tone of voice, offering support during this time of suffering. It helps to think of what you might say to a friend or loved one going through the same or similar situation, remembering that this is a time for support rather than giving advice. You might say, "I'm here for you. I care for you. This will pass." You're offering yourself support and encouragement to get through the distress. Later on, when you're feeling stronger, you can see if there's anything to learn from the situation. So meanwhile, in the midst of the current situation, may you find kindness and compassion.